Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Jane and today we're going to talk about relocation, immigration, and I will share my tips that will help you to live through this period in a comfortable way. Please make sure to watch till the end because I'll share some key points that I truly find important for every person who is moving. So, what associations do we have with the immigration, with moving to a different place or to a different country? I know that lots of people are completely stressed out at the mere thought, at the mere possibility of doing such a thing. Other people feel more comfortable about it and even decide to move to a different country, but then face certain difficulties. Even people who have traveled a lot, people who have lots of experience living in different countries, might face certain difficulties. Thus, I thought that I could share some of my experience that might help other people. I must say that as a person who has been teaching languages for 15 years, I often help people who are about to move abroad due to their studies, due to their work or other purposes. As a neurocoach, I'm now working a lot with clients who are facing difficulties after moving. They don't know how to make their living more comfortable. They don't know how to make this process smoother. And finally, as a person who moved from Russia to Italy 9 years ago, I know exactly what a person feels after changing countries, after moving from one place to another. So I'll be really glad to share some of my ideas. Point number one, which I find really important, is the following. Please, initially, do not compare. I know it's very difficult actually, but still it is important. Quite often, when we are finding ourselves in a new situation, in a new environment, in a new place, our brain tends to compare things and finding things that are working not just differently, but worse. We are perceiving things that are not actually always true, but we are so much stressed out that we actually see everything through this kind of black filter, saying, this is bad, I don't like this, I don't like that, this is uncomfortable, this is awkward, this is not organized, not well organized, and so on. So my idea here is give yourself a certain period of time, a month, 2 months, and so on, where when you are not going to compare. So you're doing it in the following way. You can notice things that are working differently. It's okay. Yes, it functions differently. Yes, it needs a different kind of approach here. Yes, it's like that. But at least try not to label it with something really negative. Don't say that's bad, that's not functioning at all, that's crap, and so on. Just do not compare. Later on, you might get back to this list of things, and it's very probable that you will not see these things in such a negative way. Point number two, even if you are an experienced traveler or a rather flexible person, do not underestimate this period. This period after moving somewhere is stressful for any kind of person, just for everyone. Just due to the fact that you have to deal with a lot of things. You have to rent a house, you have to send your children to school, you have to find a job, or you have to start your studies, or you're doing something else. So still you have to resolve a number of problems that are new for you. So do not underestimate it again. Make sure you give yourself this quality time. Take care of your body, take care of your mental health, sleep well. Make sure you find a way to relieve stress and express your inner emotions. And actually, this is something that will have to do with my tip number 3. So my tip number 3 will exactly help you to express your emotions and somehow not keep them inside for too long. Try to keep a diary. If you like a simple, normal diary describing what happened to you throughout the day, it's okay, that's fine. But if you need a shorter version, I would suggest doing the following. You can keep a diary of 3 positive things that happened to you throughout the day. At the end of the day, take a notebook or anything you like and put down 3 things that you found pleasant, that you enjoyed during this very day. It might be a nice cup of coffee, some new book shop that you found, you managed to exchange a couple of words with your neighbor, or you got acquainted with some nice person, anything, nice weather, that'll do. How does it work? It gives your brain the signal that there are positive things here. It helps you to somehow get connected to the reality in this reasonable way. After a hard day, you can, go through your notes regarding the past days and see, actually that's not that bad, actually a lot of positive points. Perhaps there are positive points here too. You're somehow developing this habit of noticing not the bad things, but the positive ones. Remember that our brain basically tends to notice things that are new and potentially dangerous. Why? Because it tends to analyze if this situation is dangerous for us, if it might be unsafe or not, and it somehow sends us the signals, beware, beware. So some things that we do not understand or find dangerous or hostile can, become predominant, and we don't want it because that's not always true. Keeping this positivity diary helps to improve the quality of your life. Another tip from a person who makes videos about learning languages. It's very obvious. Start learning the local language. I know that lots of people hope that English will do, and some are really lucky enough to find a job or study in English, but I would still insist on the following. Start immediately learning the local language. There are 2 points for that. Point number 1 is the following. So when we see outside the words that we don't understand, we potentially perceive it as something hostile, unknown, and not safe. So we get very tense, and this tension is perceived inside and stays for a long time. That's not good for you. As long as you are learning a language, you start understanding more. You start feeling more comfortable in this environment. And point number 2, wherever you go, people who see your attempts to master the foreign language will be friendlier to you, will be open, and will be ready to help. Why? Because they perceive it as a signal that you're making the first step towards them. You are trying to understand and learn their language, not vice versa. Because when we expect other people to speak English to us, perhaps their foreign language, again, that's kind of a signal that, come on, you have to adjust to my needs. But that's not always good. That doesn't help, actually. So please try, at least at some very basic elementary level, to master the local language in this or that way. That will help. Tip number 5 will deal with the community. Have a look who's around you. Obviously, we're all moving in different life situations. Somebody is moving alone. Somebody moves to join his or her partner or parents, for instance. Some people are moving with the whole family and with children. So situations differ. But make sure to be attentive to your community, to the community around you. Obviously, I know lots of people prefer the community of people who speak the same languages or have a similar background. That's good. Obviously, such people can share lots of information, they can somehow make your living more comfortable. At the initial points, will explain what difficulties you might face and how to solve things. This is useful. But my tip is not to get closed inside the community of people who speak your own language. Try to deal more with the locals. I would have a look at your hobbies. Analyze what you really love and what you would like to do in your free time. These are the places where you can find some locals, make friends with someone, and get integrated in the local community better. You can go to the driving school to get a license. You can go to the fitness club or some sports clubs. You can attend some excursions that are not basically for tourists or foreigners, but for locals. And you'll see some nice places and you'll have a chance to meet some locals. You might attend art school or dance school, anything you like. Cooking classes, perhaps any kind of things that you enjoy doing in your free time. But the places where you can meet the locals. They'll share their culture, you'll keep in touch with the local mentality, you might get new contacts, and you will feel more comfortable feeling yourself a part of this country and a part of this very society. My tip number 6, which I personally find perhaps the most important, or at least that turned out to be crucial for me personally. Remember how much time we invest into developing relationships with people who are around us, with our partners, with our friends, and with our children, and so on. You can dedicate time to developing relationship with the place where you're living, with the country where you're living, with the city where you're living now. This is completely important and has a lot to do with the quality of living. Try not just to be governed by somebody else's advice. Obviously, if you know people who have been learning this place for a long time, they'll share some important points, some of their favorite stores, shops, and spots, and so on. That's good. But try to find some time and try to construct this relationship with this place for yourself. Find your favorite street, find your favorite museum or some panoramic spot where you can enjoy the view. Find your favorite bakery and you can become a client and grab your coffee or some sweets there. Find things that connect you to this place. Write your own story with you and the place where you are. This will help you to feel yourself part of this environment, part of this place, not a stranger, not a newcomer, but somebody who has his or her own traditions and associations with this place. It makes you feel an integral part of this place, of this community, of the whole environment. Make it as vivid as you can and make it as pleasant for you as you can. Believe me, in any place you can find things that will help you create this comfortable, psychological and mentally comfortable atmosphere for your living. No matter how much time you spend in this place, you stay for a short period of time or for the rest of your life, this is a strategy that can really, really help you. Well, this is everything that I felt like sharing today. Well, if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Make sure to share your thoughts down below in the comments. If you recently moved and you face difficulties, again, please let me know and we might find some solution for you, who knows. Well, have a great day where you're living now, and I'll see you in my next videos.